Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about frontal bone and we will start our topic with introduction. Here you can see the diagram. The green color area of the bone or the skull is frontal bone. Frontal bone is vital component of the human skull. It forms the forehead and contributes to the eye socket and nasal cavity. It plays a crucial role in protecting the brain, supporting facial structures and facilitating movements. Talking further about frontal bone is single unpaired bone. That means there will be only one frontal bone in every skull. They are located at the front of skull and it consists of following parts: squamous part, orbital parts and nasal parts. So these are the three parts of frontal bone. First we will talk about the squamous part of frontal bone. Squamous part forms the forehead and contains key landmarks such as glabella, that is a smooth prominence between the eyebrow. It also has a key landmark that is frontal eminence, that is basically the rounded elevation on either side of the forehead. And it also has supraorbital margins that are the upper boundary of the eye socket, and the other feature is supraorbital foramen, that is basically the opening for nerve and blood vessel at the supraorbital margin. The next part of the frontal bone is orbital part. It forms the roof of eye sockets and contain lacrimal fossa that houses a lacrimal gland which produces tear. It also has trochlear fossa that is the attachment site for the superior oblique muscle. The next part of frontal bone is nasal bone. It contributes to the nasal cavity and articulates with the nasal bone. Now let's talk about the function of the frontal bone. The first function is protection, as it shields the frontal lobe of the brain. The next function is structural support, as it forms the forehead, eye socket and nasal cavity. The next function is muscle attachment, as it supports facial expressions. And the next function is sinus formation, as it contains frontal sinuses which help lighten the skull and enhance voice resonance. Now let's talk about the articulation of frontal bone. The frontal bone connects with the 12 other bones including parietal bone through the coronal suture, nasal bone to the frontonasal suture, maxilla, zygomatic bone and ethmoid bone and sphenoid bone. So these are the articulations of the frontal bone. They are 2 parietal bone, 2 nasal bone, 2 maxilla, 2 zygomatic, 2 ethmoid bone and 2 sphenoid bone, overall making the 12 bony articulation of the frontal bones. Now let's talk about the clinical significance of frontal bone. The first significance is a fracture, as it is common in hand injuries leading to complications like brain trauma or sinus damage. The next clinical significance is sinus infection, as there are the frontal sinuses in the frontal bone and they can become inflamed, causing frontal sinusitis. The next clinical significance is surgical importance, as it is used in cranial surgeries and facial reconstruction. Now let's talk about the conclusion of our lecture. Frontal bone is crucial structure that provides protection, support and functionality of the skull. Its anatomy, articulation and clinical relevance make an essential topic in medical and anatomical studies. So this was all about the frontal bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for